Hello everybody, this is Paul Neese of the Raw Life Health Show, and I am completely wiped out. I am so tired, and I wanted to make a video about this because so often people eat great food and they think that that's the main aspect of health, but I say all the time sleep is more important than anything else when it comes to our physical health. Yes, there's emotional and spiritual health, but this is something I learned when you get a little older. You're not able to do as well at sports. You get some aches and pains, certain aches and pains. And since being on a healthy raw food diet, I deal with that much better than most people deal with. I'm still able to do things now that I did when I was a teenager over 20 years ago. However, sleep is a different story. When I was a teenager, I could stay up like all night and not feel the impact of it literally the next day. I mean, I would just feel like fine. But now it's not the case. If I don't get a certain amount of hours of sleep each night, I'd like to get 8, but if I don't get at least 6, maybe 7, the next day I really do feel it. And I believe that's contributed to my age and my aging. So it's not only the food thing, because I've overcome those barriers and I'm eating a raw vegan diet and feel amazing about that. But the sleep is something a lot of people neglect. And thankfully so, it's a great sign to tell us when we haven't had enough. You're tired. And when that sign happens and you're tired, what you should be doing is getting more sleep, taking a break, getting a rest, relaxing. So unlike disease, something like cancer, you don't have a symptom until it's already well advanced. But when you're sleep deprived, immediately you'll know it. And now, so that's a great thing. That's a great part of sleep deprivation versus something like cancer or something else. Now here's the downside of it. Instead of people getting that important rest that they need, what do? They take some kind of stimulant to stay awake. And that creates a false sense of energy or a false sense that everything's okay. When you're lacking sleep, you know, sleep is where your body heals. That's where the blood is being cleansed. That is like the most important thing you can do for your health, is to get the proper amount of sleep that you need on a regular basis. And people are just trying to cut corners. They're drinking coffee, caffeine, and all these other things, but they're making their problem way worse, way worse. And it's like your cell phone, folks. You take your cell phone, at the end of the day, it's almost dead, it's on low, and you plug it in before you go to sleep. So when you wake up in the morning, you look at your phone, it's fully charged, it's been plugged in the whole night. Well, our bodies aren't that much different. Yes, you might say, well, I've heard bodies being compared to a car, but a cell phone? Yeah, folks, if you forget to plug that cell phone in at the end of the day, when you wake up in the morning, it's not going to be completely charged. Sometimes it's actually going to be dead. It won't even be charged at all. And that's the same case with us humans. If we don't get the proper amount of sleep, when we wake up in the morning, we're not going to be properly charged. And sometimes we will be dead. So this is a serious thing, folks. We need to really pay attention to our sleep. And our immune system and our sleep is definitely connected. I've experienced it with me and others over the years. If we get less sleep, we're more better chances we'll get a cold or a flu or something if somebody has it. But you want to be, you know, from a food standpoint, it's great, but from an immune system standpoint, from an alert standpoint, from every standpoint, you want natural health. And that comes from getting the proper amount of sleep on a regular basis. So I want to remind you and just send you this reminder to everybody, do not neglect your sleep. Don't try to cut corners. You know, I've never had a cup of coffee my whole life, but I know it's an addicting stimulant. And no stimulant is healthy. I don't care if it's legal or not. And there's a time and a place for everything. But the abuse of coffee and other caffeinated beverages like these energy drinks is creating a big problem. And now it's the kids. You know, like I said, when I was younger, I could stay up for a long time and not feel it. Well, now they're really not feeling it because they're drinking all these stimulated drinks and this Red Bull and this energy monsters drinks and all this other stuff. It's a bad, serious thing. And I'm warning you, folks. I'm telling you. So wake up and get it. Get away from the caffeine. You know, there's a lot of bad things out there. There's a lot of drugs out there. There's a lot of drugs they're putting in our food, the food coloring and all the other stuff, the organic food. But don't neglect your sleep. You know, some people stay up so late studying all this other stuff that they neglect their sleep, and that defeats the point and the purpose. We need to be in the best health possible. We need to be prepared and ready. And, you know, sleeping and driving, you get in an accident. You know, chances are you would. Well, you know, taking an energized drink or something else, if you had to be somewhere, that might be the only possible reason to do it. But how often does that situation really arise where we must be somewhere instead of getting home and getting to sleep? Folks, don't neglect your sleep. That's a reminder. I'm telling you that now, and I hope you take it seriously because it has big impact on your health. Put your comments and questions below the video here. I'm going to go get some sleep. As a matter of fact, people always ask me about taking a nap. Is taking a nap healthy? Well, you know, I would think that taking a nap is extremely healthy if you need it. But if you need it, there's a good chance you're not getting enough sleep throughout the night. If you're getting enough sleep throughout the night, you should be able to make it throughout the whole day without a nap. But if you need it, get it. It's important. But find out why you need it. Because we should be able to make it without a nap. And without coffee as well. All right. Thanks for checking us out. Questions below the video. Till then, have a great day and a great raw life.